Thanks for checking out our video. Feel free to join our free weekly newsletter called Pop Culture Annotated, and also join our Discord server to talk with us and others that share your fandom in pop culture entertainment. Links in the description. Hey everybody, how's it going? So when Godzilla was reintroduced to modern audiences in 2014's Godzilla, many viewers had thoughts on the new design. While most comments were directed at calling him fat, or something that I thought was kind of interesting, which was Thickzilla, few comments were actually with response to his dorsal plates. And the dorsal plates of Godzilla is not only one of his most iconic figures, but something that a lot of people don't really appreciate all the time. In the 2014 design, what they kind of did with it was they made him smaller and a bit more jagged. Now, coming up to the 2019 sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters, a very noticeable change on the design of Godzilla, as we've seen in trailers, was his dorsal plates. And director Michael Dowdery joked actually in an interview that basically he said, I photoshopped the original Godzilla's plates onto the 2014 design. And this usually wouldn't be anything for speculatory purposes, but certain stills from Godzilla King of the Monsters have shown Godzilla still present with his 2014 dorsal plates. So it kind of got everything thinking over here, why does he still have both plates in the movie? Why isn't it just a clean design upgrade? Because a lot of times in movies, characters get upgraded. Now, this has led to speculation that the reason why both of them are present is because Godzilla will receive a power-up, not only triggering his blue glow that's seen in trailers, but also a power-up indicated by new dorsal plates. And this would actually make a lot of sense when you compare Godzilla from the 2014 film and Godzilla that we've seen so far in trailers and promotional materials. Because just going back to the trailer where they show his atomic breath, his dorsal plates are glowing a little bit, it's a lot different than the 2014 film. In the 2014 Godzilla movie, his atomic breath was more of like a wispy flame versus a powerful beam, which is obviously different than the Godzilla we keep seeing in trailers, which shows him rising out of the water and shooting a powerful blast into the sky. Now, one thing I also found really interesting was that his tail is also larger and more rounded in King of the Monsters versus what it was in 2014's version of Godzilla. So I did some digging, and based off of reports, it does seem very likely that we are going to get a power upgrade for Godzilla, in that a lot of these scenes are likely in the later half of the film after he kind of gets a butt whooping a few times, or at least once from Ghidorah. And what it looks like might be happening here is actually, if you look at the trailer a few times, there's a scene where Godzilla is seemingly resting, seemingly trying to regain his strength, it looks like, subterranean temple, and it looks like Monarch scientists go to that temple. And whatever they do, whether it is give him more energy, some radiation, which would be most likely, so maybe a nuclear device is at play here, because we know this version of Godzilla eats off of that radiation. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that and they kind of supercharge Godzilla almost. You could argue maybe it's Godzilla going back to his prime, because maybe not enough energy has really been available for him to reach that energy state anymore, which you could also argue is an energy state he was in quite often in the past, maybe when Ghidorah was more active and prevalent before all the events happened that led to him being frozen in the ice. But yeah, I definitely think it's really cool. It definitely does look though that a lot of those scenes that have Godzilla with his new dorsal plates, that seems to be taking place in the later half of the film, just because of how all the scenes are shot, the coloring, all that stuff. It looks like that's him rising out of the water, and then he goes to fight Ghidorah for presumably the final battle between the two in the film. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? Why do you guys think Godzilla gets an upgrade design in Godzilla King of the Monsters with the dorsal plates? Obviously, from a creative standpoint behind the scenes, it was because they wanted him to look more faithful, probably to the original version of Godzilla. Director Michael Dowdery seems like a pretty faithful guy to the OG Godzilla stuff. From the merchandise side, I'm sure that's so they can make more toys, but for the in-canon side, it definitely sounds like Godzilla is getting some sort of power boost in this film at some point to help him either fight more evenly with Ghidorah, or maybe just have an edge to beat Ghidorah. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? And we'll see you guys later.